Welcome back to the channel, ScooterATVSales.com, bringing you a service tech tip here. Today we have the Zoom by VITACCI, the Zoom 150 on the lift. A lot of customers have purchased this particular scooter. Now again, whether it's a 150 GY6 or it's a QMB 139, the fundamentals are all the same, but I had a few folks that purchased this out of the area asking, hey, how do I service this? Well, again, I did explain with them the fundamentals are all the same, whether it's a 50 or 150, but for this particular model we have on the lift, it's the VITACCI Zoom 150 motorcycle, scooter as you can call it, or scooter. It's a street legal scooter, you guys. And Adam we have here, he's going to throw out the tips. He's our lead tech here at Scooter City Reno. This is for our audience on Scooter ATV Sales. And we're going to start with the fluids on this. And let's go ahead, Adam.
Okay, so basically what's going to go down is when you change your oil, you follow the dipstick all the way down to here. It's a 17 millimeter, either a socket or wrench, will do. And then there's a thumb screen, a spring, and a cap. Now before you put anything back together, you want to make sure it goes correctly.
Okay.
Where's the spring go? There it is.
Okay, so this cap, actually, you guys, what Adam has done, we sell these as parts. We do have spare parts for these in case customers lose these. This cap actually is the cap that seals this here, and then what goes over that, show them exactly how that comes out. So if you were to loosen that cap, you guys, to drop your oil,
it'll basically, the cap will drop first, and the springs, and then the thumb screen. Sometimes the thumb screen gets stuck up in there, and you have to just stick your finger in there and it'll just pull it right out.
Okay, so that's what you're going to find when you change the oil, when you drop the oil. This is the main drop area here on your GY6 150. Again, on most GY6 150s, you're going to find this to be the same. It takes, what, the 17 millimeter?
Yeah.
17 millimeter right here. As you can see, he uses a socket on that particular one, but this is what it looks like when you take it off. This is the cap to it, and this is the thumbnail screen and then a spring. So when that comes out, you're going to clean these parts right here and then just re-engineer, put it right back where it belongs and seal it up there. Just make it nice and snug, never over tighten. Again, it takes, what, just short of a quart of oil?
Yes. So
okay.
150s take maybe a quart, maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
But one thing I did want to share as a tip for you guys, don't put it in backwards for the thumb screen, because if you do, it's going to squish it up in the motor, and you don't want that.
Okay.
So it goes straight down like that.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. And then what type of oil are we using?
We're using Lucas High Performance 10W40 motorcycle oil.
Okay, so there are other high quality motors out there, engine oils out there, you guys. So if you don't have the Lucas brand, but we like Lucas over here. We're a Lucas shop. And what else here? Let's go on to the other side here for the gearbox. Oh, that's right. Okay, so there's a secondary drain on the 150 GY6s. Most of them have the secondary drain as shown here on this side. So what this will allow you to do, that was the main drain where you drop your oil. This will be the secondary to get 101% of all the oil out of your GY6. You just let it drip till it no longer drips anymore. So this would be the secondary, and it takes, what, a 17 millimeter?
Yes, as well.
Okay, so that would be the secondary, you guys, to get 101%. So you start with the other side here with your 17 millimeter, as Adam's shown here. This is where the screen thumbnail here will come out. You start with this, and then you move your drain pan over to the other side here. And then you drain out this side over here. Now we're going to move this drain pan to your gearbox. Now this is your gearbox area right here.
Yes, so it takes a 10 millimeter bolt to fill it, and a 10 millimeter bolt to drain it out. Okay,
so we have your drain over here, 10 millimeters. So you loosen this up and you drain out all the gearbox oil. And then to fill it, you're going to fill it from here. Now, how do we fill it here? Show the folks here what we use here to fill it out. Now, you do need a long little mini hose that can fit inside there. Now, you guys have something similar to this. This is what we use over here, you guys. But we're a shop, so we do this very frequently. We like to make it work as easy as possible, but you could pick up one of these, what, like Walmart, AutoZone?
Yeah, and then just rig the hose the way this is.
Okay.
Fit right in.
And then you stick that little hose right in here, because when you take out the nut, right, when you take this out over here,
Right, and before you drain that, you'll see like stuff come out. That's perfectly normal. That's how you know when it's full. But what you do is after you put the bolt back in the bottom, you gotta fill it up through here and just let it drip some more.
Okay, so once it reaches to the top here, once you put the bolt back in here after you drained it, you make it nice and snug. Then what you do is you fill it with this or something similar to this, so you can get all the gear oil in there. We use a Lucas 8090 oil as shown over here. You guys, you can use other brands as well. You fill it here until it hits the top and it drips out a little bit. Then you put that bolt right back inside there, make it nice and snug. So let's talk about the transmissions, because that needs to be serviced from time to time, and how to remove the bolts. What bolts are necessary to be removed?
So we've got 8mm and a 10mm. 10mm holds the air box onto the cover. So basically you want to make sure you get all your bolts. The only one that I don't recommend getting, because it's a little stubby short one, is this one right here. This can stay there. You just want to make sure you get all the long ones out.
Okay.
And then make sure all your bolts are in correctly. Like some 150s, these bolts are longer than the rest of them.
Okay, so keep your bolts in order, you guys. You can watch our other videos we've done. Check our playlist on servicing scooters, and you can see that we actually take the cover off, so you guys can see inside of this and see all the little mechanics and components inside that need to be serviced. We're going to leave this on, but just for this video purposes, these are the areas here to remove this from time to time. So you can inspect your clutch over here and your variator, make sure the rollers and the belt is wearing properly. How about adjusting the rear brake?
So basically it's a 14mm nut. You can use a regular wrench or socket. I use either or on my scooter. And then just right now I'm screwing it in by hand because I've got a glove on.
Okay.
And it'll just keep going until it's tighter and tighter from the brake up here.
All right, so that controls, that left side there controls your rear brakes, which are drum brakes. Right. The fronts are disc brakes, okay, hydraulic disc brakes. Now, overall inspection, now this is the air cleaner on it, right? Yeah. So it has Phillips screwdriver on it, so we're going to open that up by doing what? How do we open that?
So basically you grab your Phillips screwdriver or drill and just back the screws out, pull it out. There's a foam filter behind here, just clean it up. Just like wash it with some soap and water.
Okay,
all right. And let it dry, and then put it back in your scooter, put the cap back on, and you're ready to go.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough. So overall, we're going to be inspecting the scooter as well. You're going to check all the EPA hoses, springs on the center stand here, make sure everything's nice and tight, the kickstand here. You'll walk around, you guys, check your dual shocks in the back here. This model here has dual shocks. You're just going to do an overall inspection, make sure that everything's nice and tight. You don't see any anything unusual, any sort of defects on it. You can come over here on this side, you guys. Now, generally what you're going to do when you want to check your spark plug or remove your spark plug, you're going to be removing the top bucket area, which we're not going to do on this video. You could watch those other videos. We've done this. But your spark plug is right here where my hand's at. Right under here, you can feel it, and the best way to remove this, so you have room with your spark plug remover, is to remove the bucket out. It lifts right up. You can watch our other videos we've done on how to do that. There's nuts and bolts that hold that in. Once you lift your seat, you pull it right up. It gives you direct access to your spark plug area, and you can remove that. Any other tips you want to throw out here to the customers? You want to have them check your muffler, your exhaust flanges over here?
Right, make sure you check your PSI on your tires, check your bulbs every now and again just to make sure there's nothing wrong with them.
Okay, okay.
Especially brake pads if you can get to them.
Okay, so here's your brake pads over here. Those much better, easier to see here than your drum. And then to actually repair a flat, a lot of you guys call up, you say, how do I repair my rear flat? Well, the way you do this on the fundamentals are the same on most scooters. You have to remove your exhaust here for the rear. So you're going to have to remove these two. What are these bolts over here, 10mm?
Yes, and then I believe these are either 13s or 14s.
All right. So you have to drop your exhaust muffler completely off, then which will allow you then, with what size are these usually?
These are usually a 21, but you do have a shock mount that you have to take off first on the bolt, and that's a 12mm.
Okay, so on this particular model, you have to take the shock mount off, so you can lift out, and then this will lift right out of the axle. You'll be able to slide the axle right out, you guys. So some scooters are a little bit more complicated in regards of replacing the rear tire if you have a flat, and others don't have this extra area here that the shock is connected to. So keep that always in mind. Every scooter is different, but generally the fundamentals are all the same. So you do have to remove your exhaust muffler. And what else do we have here? Just, do an overall inspection of your scooter. And where could they find? A lot of the people are just buying these, customers that are buying these. The recommendation of air pressure is on the sidewall, right?
Yes, and it should be somewhere on the bike as well. Like on a Tao ATM 50, it's usually on the right below the VIN plate, the extra information.
You think it'd be over here on the badge? This is the actual manufacturer badge of this scooter. Again, the Zoom is supplied by both VITACCI and Apollo. Okay, so there you go. It shows right there, correct?
Yes.
There's your tire pressure as well, and you can find it as well on the sidewalls of the tires that you guys have. So these are some easy tips for you new owners out there. And keep that in mind. This way you inspect your scooter. You do the necessary tune-ups on it. These tips will allow you to get the most out of your scooter and the enjoyment out of your scooter, running strong and giving you the best performance possible. So I do want to thank Adam for taking the time and volunteering to do this today. And hope you guys are doing well. Again, these are tips. This is a particular one. This is the VITACCI Zoom 150 GY6. Again, other GY6 are quite similar. The fundamentals are all the same. Keep that in mind. Hope all is well. Like, subscribe, and comment. And if you guys are looking for some parts at ScooterATVparts.com, and you'll always find me posting on Instagram at Scooter ATV Sales. Thanks again, Adam, and we'll see you soon, you guys. Take care.